Good evening, family. How is everyone doing this afternoon or this evening, I guess? If you're new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this video journal or channel to record my progress as I work towards my goals to get to a healthy weight. If you enjoy my videos, make sure that you do subscribe to the channels. Also, make sure you click on that bell icon so that you'll get notified when I go live, which is usually most weekdays. And if you want to join in on the discussion, you can join in on those weekday live streams. You can also kind of share with us on our Discord, and there's a link for that down in the description below. And also, if you're interested in getting some meal ideas or to see some of the things that we eat on our diet, there's a link for there's a link to a Pinterest board in the description below so that you can see those things there. Okay, family, it is Weigh In Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. Just a quick recap. I started on November 1st, 2020, and I had a starting weight of 519.8 pounds. I've been having incredible weight loss success so far, and last week I continued on with that success and had a 6 pound weight loss, bringing my total weight right now, or bringing my weight now to 321.4 pounds and a total weight loss of 198.4 pounds. I'm so close to that 200-pound mark. I'm going to hop on the scale here and we will see what today's weight is. So 320.8 pounds. That's awesome. 320.8 pounds. That is a 0.6 pound weight loss from last week after having a let me switch this here. After having a 6 pound loss last week, I didn't know what to really expect. So having any loss this week is really an improvement. I'm going to go ahead and update this. I can figure it out. Let me just start it here instead. Okay. 320.8 pounds. That is a sorry guys. 320.8 pounds. That's a 0.6 pound weight loss from last week. After having a 6 pound loss the week before, I wasn't really sure what would happen with this past week. Plus, we did travel this weekend. But throughout the past week, my diet was pretty good. Wednesday evening, Thursday, and Friday, I was 100% on the whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet. Saturday, we were out of town, so it put me in a position. It put me in a position to that we ended up eating out for 2 meals. And the first meal, we did pretty good job. It was actually pretty healthy. It was a grilled tempeh sandwich with roasted red peppers, with mustard on sourdough bread. So overall, that wasn't really that bad. But the evening meal, we did order a vegan pizza from a restaurant. So that was a little bit higher calorie meal for us on Saturday evening. But then Sunday, we were back on diet, had kind of our regular oatmeal breakfast, had a great dinner on Sunday. Monday, I kind of checked my weight, knew that I needed to do something and needed to get a handle on my weight. So I did just have breakfast on Monday and Tuesday, and then really just after Tuesday have just been doing a juice fast essentially since then, or fasting and just having a little bit of juice. Um, Other than the whole food plant-based diet, there was no additional working out. So I really am happy with the results. That puts me at 199 pounds lost total. So it puts me that much closer to that 200-pound mark, and really it keeps inching me closer to my goals of getting down to 219.8 pounds by the end of this year. Um, and so Carrie's checking in here, saying hi. Latchkey Generation says, congratulations, that's awesome. Thank you, Latchkey. And Carrie is saying a loss after the pizza splurge. Yes, there was a loss after the pizza splurge. So I want to thank everybody for all of their support over the last week. And just know that if you want to keep track of my weight loss progress, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel so you can follow along. Yeah, that pizza splurge this weekend, I guess. Really, I cannot believe how much it sidelined me. I wasn't expecting, or not sidelined, but sidetracked me or slowed down my progress. Because really I was doing great on my diet. And I mean, I'm not upset about the pizza. I'm upset that the pizza kind of stuck to me as long as it did. And I think that's kind of what happens when I eat that heavy, doughy kind of thing. Cause I feel like the same thing happened to me on our anniversary, that we had pizza on our vegan pizza on our anniversary. So, and there's a lot of talk about like calories in, calories out. And I really enjoy this diet because we're not doing any of those calorie counting things. But I really feel like it's maybe not so much like calories in, calories out, but it's like the calories your body is able to absorb versus the calories out. So it's like instead of CICO, it would be CACO. And I think that things like that vegan pizza is your body's able to absorb that really well, because when I eat corn, I know, or I can tell that my body doesn't absorb all of the corn. I don't notice that so much after we eat a bunch of pizza. I do feel like it slows down in my system, and my body takes a long time to process it. Like it's taking its time. And also I think there's a little bit to uh water retention when having when consuming salt, because our diet, there's salt in vegetables and there's salt in the food that we eat a little bit, but we don't have any added salt. And I think that just having any amount of added salt causes my body to retain more fluids or causes inflammation. I that evening, Saturday evening, after having the pizza, I really felt like my leg had swollen up a little bit. Not much, but just it looked like it was maybe a little puffy around the top of my sock. So, Plant Strong Mark says any loss is a victory. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Plant Strong. Yeah, after having that 6-pound loss the week before, I was happy to be able to keep going on and continue to have a loss. So, um, it's nice. But yeah, I just don't know what the deal is with that pizza. It tastes so good having a vegan pizza or having that option. And I like supporting these places to let them know that it is there's people out there that will eat the food, I guess, or that are interested in it. It was kind of funny when we ordered that pizza. The girl on the phone almost sounded excited, like, "Oh yeah, and then we won't put any Parmesan and we won't put any butter on it for you." And uh, it was interesting. So I like um showing these businesses that there's a customer base. Um, the other thing that is nice to have a weight loss, and it wasn't until yesterday that I really kind of had a full realization that I'm turning 40 this year. My birthday's on May 5th, and so that's like just over 90 days away from my 40th birthday. And um I definitely have determined or decided that I will get under 300 pounds before my birthday. I don't think that losing 20 pounds in 90 days is that difficult of a task to achieve. So I definitely gonna do that. But I really kind of want to lose as much weight as I possibly can. And but I don't want to put a ton of effort into it either. I've done most of this weight loss through my diet, and I want to continue to do it through my diet. But what I think I really have to do is just kind of take things week by week. And last week I had breakfast kind of Monday, Tuesday, I had oatmeal, and then this week I did the same thing. Um, and so I really enjoy having kind of regular meals Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday through Sunday, essentially. And then on Monday, checking my weight and kind of attacking what I have, figuring out what I have to do for the next 3 days so that I'm losing weight for the last half of each week. Um, I, I by doing these fasts, essentially, or doing these juice fasts for the last 2 weeks, I feel great. I feel awesome right now. I haven't had anything to eat since breakfast yesterday, and I feel really good. I don't feel extremely hungry. My mouth is a little dry, but that's been the case for like 2 weeks. I've had an issue with that. So that hasn't just been from this. But I I like the idea that I know that my body's burning fat for energy right now. Like, that I don't have a bunch of food in my stomach that's providing me the energy that my body is having to having to attack my fat stores for my calories. So I'm extremely happy with I'm sorry. I'm excited about my 40th birthday coming up, and that I started taking care of my health a year and a half ago instead of today. Like sitting here uh at if I wouldn't have started this challenge and then coming up on my 40th birthday, how heavy would I have been, and what would I do to get on track, and so um and then I also kind of looked up, because I've had this weird like 42-day thing. I fasted for 7 weeks, and I gave myself 7 weeks to get ready for the sprint triathlon. And so I kind of looked up what 7 weeks prior to my birthday is, and it's like March 24th is what I came up with, was that date. And I might try to give myself some sort of challenge starting on March 24th, and seeing what I can do, or if I can get something done. I'll see maybe if there's an event going on before or after my birthday that might be worth trying to do uh, as a goal or something. So, and if anybody has any ideas for challenges, let me know. I did that sprint triathlon challenge last year. It was great. I did get injured right after it, but the triathlon itself was pretty fun. Um, and so let's see. The other thing I had to talk about today here was I'm continuing to read the book Salt, Sugar, Fat. It is written by Michael Moss. I think it was published in 2013. The part of the book I'm in now is kind of the second part of the book, where he talks about fat and the introduction of fat to our diet, or the uh, increased amount of fat that has crept into our diet over the last 100 years. And it's kind of, I continue to say this every time I talk about this book. I really like the book. It is uh, got a lot of awesome stories. He interviewed a lot of former executives from these companies, or in some cases, the people that invented these items. And it's just kind of neat hearing that side of the story. He was given presentations that were shown to the company, like in product launches. And it was just, he's really got a huge amount of information. And the part of the book that I'm going through right now, he talks a lot about the history of Lunchables, which I think is kind of neat because Lunchables really, they came out right after I got through elementary school, or right when I was in elementary school. He talks about like 91. I was born in 82. 91, I would have been 9 years old. So they were kind of introduced in 91. I think they became much more popular in like 95. So I would have been a little bit older, but I absolutely remember seeing Lunchable commercials. I know I've had Lunchables many times. Um, and it was just kind of cool seeing, or it's cool hearing the history and him talk. Like I said, I think he talks to the guy that invented the Lunchable, and they talk about the reason why the Lunchable was even created was because bologna sales were down, and they were trying to find a way to increase bologna sales. So they tasked, uh, I can't remember his name right now. I should have wrote it down, or written it down, but I did not. Uh, but he was, his whole goal was to increase bologna sales, and so, or their processed meats. So that was the basis for what they did. And then he talks about how they worked on, um, creating the right packaging. Carrie says here that our kids used to have them as a special treat now and then. Yeah, and it's, uh, they really, it was kind of crazy because they had the Lunchables, and then they also, that same company, it's Kraft, so they have the cheese available there, and then they have the Ritz crackers. So it was kind of a huge mix of a bunch of their product lines into one thing. And it's just kind of, like I said, it's kind of neat to hear about that. But he also talks about like other studies that were done, that they found that we as kind of people are, they did studies on like foods that are obviously fat, or that they have, uh Plant Strong here says to try a Tough Mudder. I think Carrie did a Spartan Run or a Tough Mudder. You're going to be doing that in November this year. Yeah, I don't know how big I am on getting that dirty. Uh, but yeah, I definitely like the idea of doing something endurance. It takes a long time. Um, and but yeah, that I'll have to see if there's anything going on. Like I said, I have to see what's going on that time of the year. Doing anything that would actually be like pulling myself up would be interesting too, now that I think about it, because uh, I had my distal bicep tendon surgery last year, and I'm still, every time I do something with that arm, I'm still a little bit nervous. But I'm sure it would be fine. Um, but yeah, so these companies are doing studies, and there's a study that was done on how much food people would eat if there was an obvious fat content versus a hidden fat content. And so they took like a slice of bread that had butter on top of it, and then they had another slice of bread that was just used with more, they used more butter to make it, or the butter is inside the bread itself. And they also had like this sausage wrap where one of them was wrapped in a a a bread that was kind of greasy, and then the other one was in a dough that wasn't as greasy. And they found that when people, when the food has the appearance of having less fat in it, then people tend to eat more of that. And, um, that's great information to have. But the problem is that they took that information and then they started trying to find a way to make foods look healthier, but still having that higher fat content so that uh, we would consume more of it. We were thinking it was healthier because it wasn't obviously fatty. And then that would increase the sales for these companies. And in the book, he talks about how like these companies, they can make the foods lower fat or they can make them healthier. And sort of like Philip Morris, the cigarette company, which by the way, owns Kraft and General Foods just because they had so much money. They were making so much money selling cigarettes to people that they just went out and bought like the two biggest food distribution companies in the nation with Kraft and General Foods. So, but at one time, Philip Morris had introduced a denicotined cigarette, and it was an option that was put out there for people to um, it was an option for people to put out there to smoke, but nobody bought it. So it was pulled off the shelves in a year. And Lunchables, he talks about in the book, had even done that. They introduced a low fat Lunchable that had lower fat meat and lower fat cheese, but nobody bought it. So it was pulled because it didn't have very good sales. And so, what these companies, the way a lot of these executives and these people that were producing these foods look at it is that they were just giving us what we wanted. They were giving us what we wanted. And if they didn't give it to us, if Kraft or General Foods didn't create the Lunchable that had the Snickers in it, then another company was going to come out with competing lunch, their competing Lunchable with some sort of dessert in it. So if they didn't create it or make it, then somebody else would. Uh, but it's just kind of shitty when you pair giving people what they want with maximizing the consumption to increase profits. When they are giving us the Lunchables that we want, but then they're making it with as much fat as possible so we buy more, or um it just kind of it's unfortunate that it's the system that we live in. And I again am going to say this book just reinforces for me how happy I am that I'm not participating in that part of the system with the diet that we have. We don't have to worry about the advertising that Kraft is doing or what Hostess has on the signs. I don't have to worry about the new taco that is coming out down at Taco Bell or what's going on at Burger King. It doesn't matter anymore because I don't eat those foods. They can spend all the money they want on that marketing. They can do all the research they want, but I'm not their customer anymore. And I'm so happy that I'm not their customer. Carrie here says that she did a 5K mud run between our second child and the twins. It was a really fun experience. Yeah, I don't remember. I feel like I was around. I don't remember watching you do the run, but I feel like I did for some reason. Anyways, that was a while ago, a long time ago. But yeah, I will keep looking into different things to do. Uh, Or what, the little Debbie ice creams, Carrie says. We don't have to worry about the little Debbie ice creams. Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of nice. But with our kids, we do have to kind of worry about what Oreo's doing, right? Because we still buy them the snack food, the junk food to kind of appease them. That's been something that we're trying to figure out. It's so tough trying to get our kids to eat a healthier diet, but then also living in this world that is just filled with sugar and crap everywhere. Um, and uh, how willing somebody would be to go between meals without having, just just living on sugar alone. We can't have our kids doing that, right? So, so yeah, I'm happy with my over half-pound weight loss this week. I'm excited for the next few weeks. I need to get down to about 311 pounds, 310 pounds by the end of this month. It's a short month, but get that 10 pounds off. I'm excited for dinner tonight. It's been a few nights since I've had dinner, so I'm excited for dinner. I'm pretty sure we're having chickpea tikka masala. If you guys are interested in seeing any of those recipes that we do enjoy, like I mentioned earlier, there's a Pinterest board down in the description below that you can check that out. I am going to get out of here today. I actually might be on regular time tomorrow. It might be 4 o'clock tomorrow. I don't think I have to go late, which will be awesome. But I do appreciate, again, all of the support I get from you guys. And if you guys haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's no event coming up this weekend. There's nothing that's more important than taking care of your own health and your own wellness. And go all in. Don't succumb to the myth of moderate change, that I'll just do a little bit of I'll eat a little bit better this weekend, or I'll have a day where I eat well. You got to go all in. And then the other myth is to eat in moderation. We're not designed to eat in moderation. We're designed to eat lots of food. You eat a whole food, plant-based diet, you can eat lots of food. You can go to bed satisfied. You can go to bed with a full stomach and not feel guilty either. Not feel like you're going to throw up, or sometimes actually throw up. I've done it. Trust me. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. You all have a great evening. Thanks, Latchkey Generation. Also, Plant Strong Mark, Carrie, Wayne's always checking in. Also, Anthony. Thanks, everybody, for all your support. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to put my shirt on the right way because it's been on backwards all day, and I just noticed it about halfway through the stream. So you guys all have a great day.